Sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Thank you. Sir, you can share the screen. I'll just welcome you and then we can
Hmm.
start.
Sure, ma'am.
Anurag, sir, is taken his doctorate with us. So once you share, I'll just introduce you, then we can go ahead.
Hmm. Sure. And I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir, we can.
Cool. Hmm.
Thank you. So, yes, we are honored to warmly welcome Dr. Anurag, sir, a distinguished leader in business and digital transformation. With over 2 decades of experience and a remarkable academic journey, his insight brings immense value to us. An IIM Calcutta alumni, as well as a DBS scholar from our IIBM Institute, he has led impactful initiatives across global organizations and markets. His expertise in strategy, operation, and customer centric transformation is truly inspiring. Sir, we look forward to an enriching and a very insightful session
Wait,
under your guidance.
Kede Nonge. I better go to the gate. Somebody's at the gate. If we
Thank you for having me, ma'am. And thank you for the kind words. Hi, everyone. Uh, Thank you for running this session. On behalf of IIBM, I would like to thank you for joining this session, and I'm looking forward to having interactive session with you. So, ma'am, shall we start, or do we expect more
So you
participants?
start. So there is no waiting room. Scholars will keep joining. No worries.
Sure. Cool. So, hi, everyone. A formal welcome from my side. Ma'am have already introduced me, but I have just prepared one slide to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Anurag Verma. I have completed Bachelor of Commerce. I completed Bachelor of Law. And during my post-graduation, I completed dual MBA in International Business and Marketing. I am Calcutta alumni. I completed an executive program in leadership and management from IIM Calcutta. And I have also completed Doctor of Business Administration from IIBM. So I'm one of the scholars and one of the let's say alumni of IIBM. And regarding my professional exposure, I bring some industry-based experience. I'm in certifications, like I'm certified in Six Sigma, I'm certified as Scrum Master, certified as Scrum Product Owner, ITL, ITIL, SAFe, PMP, and COPC certified, and bring around 20 years of experience. Fortunately, I got to work with different organizations and different industries. So I worked for more than 11 years with Hudson Technologies. Then I worked for DigiSpice, which is a mobile wallet company. Then I got opportunity to work with Publicis Sapient, which is pure into IT and supporting the technical digital transformation. And Hogarth Worldwide was a marketing company where I served as a head of delivery. And currently, I'm working with Software One as a global process mining leader and supporting the global finance initiative and helping my position to transform from traditional way of doing business to new way of doing business. So this is who I am, and this is what I bring to the table. Uh, my and by the way, I would like to have this session that is interactive. So I thought, why don't I add one slide to understand your expectation from this session? I mean, typically there is one way, right? You heard that okay, there would be a session, and you are keen to join. You're coming with a fresh mind to learn whatever is shared during this platform. The second way is that you would like to get maximum out of it, and you have some input, some curiosity, you know, something to share, something to learn. So, in case if you have any specific topic that you wish to cover within the given framework, within the EPM or BPM or process mining, feel free to let me know, and I will try to answer those questions. So, any specific expectation or request or curiosity? No? Shall I take this silence? Yeah. So, go ahead.
Sir, please.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so this is what I have in my mind. I'll be talking about what is BPM and its life cycle. I would also talk about EPM and how this is different than BPM. what are the benefits of enterprise process management and its framework, and what is process mining, and ideal setup for process mining, EPM, BPM, and final takeaway as a conclusion. But in case if you have any suggestion, any curiosity, feel free to add. I don't have any separate type for question answer. So in case if you feel that something needs to be answered or have any specific curiosity, feel free to stop me. And ma'am, I would request you to help me out because I am only having one screen. In case there is a specific question on chat, feel free to
So what we
take my
can do, we
attention.
can keep the questions for last 15 minutes.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Rest 45 minutes, you can deliver whatever you want. Last 15 minutes, scholars, nothing in the chat box, please. Raise your hands as we do it for my sessions, and you're more than welcome to ask, sir, whatever you wish to. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start the show. Business process management. Anybody would like to unmute and share the understanding? What do you understand by business process management? I mean, what do we understand by this typical term? Any volunteer? Okay, so I share my understanding. The way I see business process management is, it is a systematic approach to model, analyze, and improve business processes. Yes, Sunil.
Well, Anurag,
Sunil,
thank you very much for the opportunity. Yes.
My pleasure.
Unfortunately, you have started, so I thought I'll drop it down.
Sure.
However, what I understand by business process management is simply understanding what is the end user requirement or the stakeholder requirement, and what are we, how are we providing our deliverables, you can say.
Yeah, somewhat correct, right? But it's more around defining the, let's say, taking a systematic approach to model, analyze, and improve business processes, which means you need to have a layer which could tell you that, how your business processes are performing. Do we have these processes documented, or we need to document it? Do we need to take a sign off? Who are the appropriate stakeholder? So this is generally BPM covers the systematic approach to design your processes. It focuses on efficiency, quality, and agility. And of course, since everything is documented and you are taking a documented route, it creates the transparency. And I will be talking about more in this, how this is beneficial for the organization. But typically, from the theoretical perspective, this is how we see it. That we have a systematic approach to take your processes or to share your processes, take the input, take the stakeholder alignment before you sign it off or you roll it out, right? So I'm moving to my next slide, which is business process management life cycle. Typically, it has only 5, let's say, phases. First is design. We always start with design. The next is model. Third is execute. Fourth is monitor. And fifth is optimize. And if you see, this is life cycle, which means after optimization, we may figure it out that something has not worked upon. So it goes back to design. And let me explain this with a simple example. I assume most of you would, working with MNC or company which has set up more than 1 or 2 countries. So let's say if you want to understand your, let's say, customer invoicing process, how do we invoice the customers, right? So first you need to have a as-is process, which means how your company is performing as of now, which is part of design, right? You document the current stage, you share the current stage, and based on this, you figure it out that, okay, currently I have, let's say, 100 people supporting this customer invoicing process. I would like to get a 10% optimization, and I would like to reduce the manpower. Or if there is any error, let's say the current process only serves on the 90% success, and there are 10% of error, then your as-is will tell you that as per the current process, my quality output is around 90%, and I'm spending around 100 people. I have 100 people supporting this process. And your 2B stage, which could be different for everybody and every organization. Your 2B stage is your, let's say, the target process should serve you around 99.9% quality, and you should get 10% of optimization. So in model stage, you design your to-be process and you will execute this process, figuring it out whether your to-be or desired stage had solved the issues that you encounter or you identify during the design stage. Once you execute, it includes training, creating SOP, creating playbook, training people. You monitor the process performance. You have a dedicated KPI framework, dashboard, which will tell you that did you reach at the maturity stage, which is part of optimization. If you have reached at the maturity stage, then of course you would keep this on hold. You focus on some other process. However, if you see that, okay, I could not bring 10% of quality improvement, you only have 2%, which means something needs to be changed or something needs to be automated. So you go through the optimized process, which takes you back to design. You design your as is, or let's say there is an as is process, there is a to be process, right? And we are transitioning from as is to be, because that is your target stage. So you go back to design and create your process in such a way which would serve your or address your new challenges. So typically, this is the outcome of each phases within BPM lifecycle. We design or identify a situation. Okay, which process, or just because we are getting a lot of customer escalation. So why we are getting customer escalation? What is the current state or situation which I need to address? The first step is we identify the situation or as is process. Then in model, we design the to-be process which address the problem, right, which we identify during this design stage. Once our to-be stage is ready, which means your future process is ready, which brings a lot of AI, which has RPA, which has a lot of machine learning, right? We execute it. Execution include training session, including creating a workflow, creating SOP, creating playbook, or maybe some physical training, or any formal training, which means that people are ready to support the process, or your systems are ready to support the process. Then we have monitor, and in monitor we must have KPI, SLA, and process mining is also part of monitoring, but I will keep it separately for now, and I will focus only on KPI and SLA. So like in my given example, where we wanted to have 10% of productive improvement, plus we wanted to improve the quality. In case if we are not able to do that, first we need to have a KPI and SLA and dashboard, which could tell you that where our processes are running. And if you are not able to do that, then we move to optimize that. What else I can bring to the current stage, and what else we can do to improve the situation. It could be through Lean, it could be through Six Sigma, it could be through introducing AI or RPA or bringing some technology changes. But the outcome of optimization might take you back to design, because again, you have to design the process in such a way which would help you to address your business problems. Does it make sense? Is everybody with me?
Yes, doctor, we're with you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I move to my next slide, which is enterprise process management. So what do we stand by? I see
Sorry, Professor.
has...
I had my hand up for a while. I'm not sure. Maybe you didn't see it because your screen was up. I did have a question.
Yes.
Madam,
If you don't
questions we
mind.
will take in last 15 minutes. Please let him cover the
okay.
show. As I said in
Thank
the
you.
start, normally as we conduct our sessions, sir will be speaking for 45 minutes. Last 15 minutes would be kept for questions. Thank you.
Okay, my apologies. Thank
No
you.
No
worries.
problem. Sorry, I didn't see your hand. I hope that
No,
is okay
sorry,
with
my
everybody.
mistake. After.
No problem.
Thank you.
So coming back to EPM, what do we stand by EPM? EPM is enterprise process management. Again, similar as BPM, where we have a systematic approach. However, this is a little different than BPM because it has a wider scope. When we talk about enterprise, like the word is telling you, enterprise, which means big setup, big scope, right? It focuses on the strategy. What is your business strategy? And where do we stand from the processes point of view? See, for any transformation, there are only three pillars. One is people, Second is process. Third is tools or technology, right? So this enterprise process management touch bases all three bases, which means you need to have people, dedicated roles so that you can touch base the people stuff. Second, the processes. Of course, the entire focus is around processes, looking at the business strategy. And third pillar is tools or technology. And that is why I have optimization, right? Governance, compliance, performance management, end-to-end value stream, because it is going to touch base all three main pillars for any transformation, right? So in layman language, enterprise process management is looking, let's say, sitting at 360, sitting at 30,000 feet, looking at the process from 360 point of view to bring alignment, to make sure that this is aligned with the business strategy and you are ready to set up for success, not for failures, right? And it needs a lot of governance, a lot of compliance, a lot of handshaking, stakeholder management to optimize the situation. And BPM only works at department level. For example, let me move to the next slide so that it makes more sense. Yeah. So here's a difference between BPM and EPM. So in BPM, the primary focus is optimizing the workflow for a specific department. For example, we have, let's say, 5-6 departments. We have sales and marketing. We have support, or let's say operations. We have finance. We have HR. We have legal. Different departments. So if we are set up for BPM, then the focus would be on the specific department. Could be sales, could be operations, or could be legal. And the focus would only remain within the given domain. I mean, within the given department or within the given opportunity. However, when we talk about enterprise process management, here we are talking about the process landscape. It targets the 360 direction. It has to be aligned with your business strategy. So let's say your business vision is, I would like to have, let's say, I'm just thinking. Your business says that I want to improve my internal cost and I want to have, let's say, I want to bring my internal cost 10% by improving my processes, by leveraging the technology, let's say AI, because everybody's talking about AI, by leveraging the AI to reduce the manpower and improve the process quality. So your enterprise process management need to have these kind of setup for the entire organization, right? We need to have a setup in such a way which could serve all these stakeholders. Of course, the scope is how a single process, for example, customer onboarding from sales or customer invoicing, can be improved. However, when we talk about enterprise process management, how can we have a better focus through cross-functional collaboration, stakeholder management, or enterprise-wide performance? Meaning, if one process is working, but other 10 processes are not working, again, your business objectives are not met. So you need to have, it's like, rolling up the sleeve, figuring it out that what is working, what is not working at organization level, and we're not sticking to just business level. Objective, of course, improve efficiency, speed, accuracy, repeatable tasks, bring visualization. However, in EPM, the focus is more around business core and organization success, meaning you, put all your processes in such a way which could serve your business strategy for 5 years, or let's say 10 years. Typical tools, BPM and automation, RPA, and here it is more around strategy planning, collaboration, talking about the value stream, what we expect from each function. And I think the most important part is key question, right? What is the purpose? In BPM, we ask, how can we make this specific process faster or better, right? In EPM, the focus is are our current processes going to serve, it is more around that, are our current processes are going to serve for another 5 years with the vision that we have as a company? Do we have all the scope for bringing AI or bringing some other technology tools, right, to serve our business problems or to address our business problems. So that is why this needs a bit, a lot of focus from strategy point of view. This needs focus from technical point of view, which means how can we improve a specific situation? Yeah. With this, I move to the next slide, which is BPM versus EPM and final takeaway. I have put this into 4 parameters. One is scope, BPM process level, EPM enterprise level, orientation, meaning again the focus. BPM is more operational task, however, EPM is more strategic and it needs a lot of collaboration, governance. In BPM, we may or may not have better governance. However, in EPM, we need to have a formal ownership and control, which means we must follow the governance. Without governance, EPM will not be able to serve you. An approach, like I said, BPM as techniques or a technical, however, EPM as management capability or at a strategy. Yeah. I move to the next slide. Now, it is not like, we decide at night that, we are going to utilize EPM or we are going for the enterprise process management, and it will happen overnight. It has its own framework, own roles, own, let's say, framework. So that is why not everybody is set up for EPM. And if we want to be set up, we need to have a specific framework, which includes enterprise process architect, who can see the processes, tools, technology in such a way that, they are able to figure it out whether the current processes, tools, technology are going to meet my business objective that we have designed for next 2 years, for next 3 years, or for this current year. Strategy and business alignment. We need process ownership and governance, which means we know who is the person in charge to bring some changes in sales processes. Who is the business in charge for bringing some changes around tools, technology, or let's say the current ways of working in operations or in HR or in legal. That is why we need to have a control board, right, where we have a process ownership and proper governance, how we are going to talk to each other. Let's say if operations has identified some opportunity to improve the customer onboarding, then how we are going to handshake with customer onboarding so that, we have a quicker customer onboarding, which can help the operation to achieve their turnaround time. And to monitor all of this, we need performance metrics and KPI, of course, continuous improvement and digital enablement. Because, every company has their 5 years plan. However, in every year, situation is changing. So that is why it needs a continuous improvement that, okay, we wanted to achieve this next year. However, the situation has changed. Now, what else we can do and how, we can handle the situation, current situation, and still meet our business objective. Move to the next slide. Why this is needed? I mean, you might be wondering, right? If it's so critical, why don't we have? Every company should have it. Then why this is not so much focused? Or what are the benefits? Not benefits, but it is more around addressing the why part, because it will help you to solve the complex situation, cross-functional service delivery modules. It reduces the high dependency, say, and SLA, compliance, customer experience. So all of these things can come together to serve your business objective. And of course, it has a distributed team. So we need a single ownership, somebody who can see the things differently and bring this up. And it is also needed for prediction for cost, quality, or timelines, or resource allocation, right? So this is why we need EPM in a nutshell. Now, benefit of EPM. Again, some theoretical stuff, but as I have been repeating myself, it is more around bringing the strategic alignment, and it helps you to bring the standardization, harmonization, and modularization. Let me spend 1 minute on this one. Let's say you are working for a company which serves more than 100 countries. If serving to 100 countries, right, it should not mean that we need to have 100 different processes. For example, for text, we have a GST in India, we have VAT in UK, and let's say, we have a different tax system in US. So does it mean that we need to have 100 different processes? who can serve the independent country and still make sure that, we're running the business? No. EPM will tell you, no, you should not, or actually you must not, because if you have to bring some changes, if you have to bring a tool, if you have to buy an ERP, you have to be sure that, it is going to serve 100 different business requirements, which is not consistent these days. So that is why the standardization and harmonization are important. Standardization means as a EPM, enterprise process management, you need to have one single process which can serve all your 100 customers or 100 countries, right? So the aim is having only one standard process which could serve to all countries. However, in harmonization, sometimes it is noted that one single process cannot serve all countries or local variation, right? Because of local tax, custom, compliance, right? Every country has their unique requirement in terms of custom or legal, right? So this harmonization will tell you that, okay, still you need to have one process, but how can we reduce the number of variation? For example, earlier, let's say you had 100 different way of serving to each country, meaning one process per country. How can we harmonize it so that you have only one or maximum two, or maybe, in worst scenario, three processes, but the landscape is same, meaning you start the process in such a way that you are utilizing the same technology, same people set to serve all countries. In case there is a local requirement, let's say from step number 1 to 5, these are same. For step number 6, we have to go to local countries for, let's say, e-invoicing or some taxation issue. Then again, we are going to that specific step, but coming back to the same process, which means the 7th step is same for all the countries, right? So this is standardization and harmonization. And of course, modularization is you can utilize the same set of modules of the process to other processes. Agility and adaptability, of course, this is important because business requirements are changing every day, every week, every month. So how do we make sure that we are running, top of it? Like I said, cross-functional collaboration and improved decision-making, cost efficiency. I'm not going to all of this. You can read in presentation, but overall the objective is to bring standardization, harmonization, and modularization, which helps you to bring the alignment in strategy, and it improves your decision-making process. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, process mining. So since we have a limited time, I'm not going to make it interactive, but actually I really wanted to. But anyway, I will be talking more on this session. What is process mining, right? So process mining is, it is a data-driven technique to analyze the process performance, which means in stage 1 in BPM or EPM, you have designed your processes. That, okay, I want to have a customer invoicing process. Earlier, I was taking, let's say, 10 hours to invoice to our customer for a specific country. Now, I have designed a process in such a way that now I'm only going to take 8 hours to invoice to our customers. But do we have the data to tell us that, okay, you have achieved what you intended for? So here comes the process mining. It is a data-driven technique to analyze the actual process, which means you capture the data. You take all the data from IT system, which has the timestamp, right? And based on the timestamp, you create your visualization in such a way which would tell you that, okay, what was the overall turnaround time? If we were supposed to take 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, did we follow all 5 steps? Or in some cases, from 1, we move to 4th, and then from 4th step, we move to 2nd step, then we follow 3, 4, 5, which means how many variation you have, right? And the overall objective is to bridge the gap between design and real processes, which means you have something in theory, but you have different practical scenarios. Then how do we address these gaps? First, how do we identify these gaps, and how do we address it? I would explain it better through my example. So this is the BPM example. Let's say I have called this process a process invoice. And in current situation, we have 3 different departments. We have sales support, we have operations, we have finance, right? So in this situation, let's assume that we are part of a company who buys the product from, let's say, a vendor and sells the product to customer with, after making some changes. Or let's say they buy the raw product, we make some changes, and we sell it to our customer. In this case, in both situations, we have to make the payment to vendor and we have to invoice our customer. So we have received the vendor invoice as a company. We have matched this in our system, okay, for which vendor we have received the invoice. And we have, this is the receive part, right? We have received the vendor's invoice. We have matched this vendor in our system. Okay, this, the vendor invoice is from vendor X, who was set up in, 5 years ago. These are the contract, these are the initial terms. And based on this, we create a SO. SO is sales order. We release the sales order. And step number 5 says we create a purchase order. We ship the purchase order. We release the purchase order. And then we ship the sales order. And then we send the invoice. Is everybody with me? Cool. And I also want to talk about why do we have different colors. And this is important in BPM and EPM. So this is your current process. The first stage is that, you had to identify the process. So now you have identified the process, you have documented it. So this is your as is. Why do I have different color code is all the green tasks are automated tasks. Let's assume these are the automated tasks. And here, all the yellow one are the manual tasks where, we have somebody who is performing these tasks. People are setting system, they are manually clicking on the system and creating the sales order or releasing the sales order or shipping the sales order, right? So if you have to design your 2B process, you need to have some kind of variation that can tell you that, okay, what are your pain points? So looking at this process, and if you, I did this part of the BPM framework, that it is identical that, okay, step number 3, 4, and 5 are manual, and actually step number 9 as well, which means here my team is spending more time because this is manual. And if you have noticed, only the PO part is automated. Creating a purchase order, shipping a purchase order, releasing a purchase order is automated, which is marked in green. However, all the sales order creation or movement are manual. So when I design my 2B process, I will work with my IT team. I will ask them, I will create the functionality. I will work with them to have these are automated. So my 2B process will tell me that, okay, everything is automated, right? And we can save some time or, improve quality or bring AI. So how we are going to automate it, that's a separate story, but this is what it tells you, your current state. Anyway, coming back to topic, we have 9-step process. 3 steps are performed by sales support. 5 steps are performed by operations, and 1 step is performed by finance, right? And the process. And also it has tools. So we have received the vendor invoice in vendor portal. We have to match this in our internal company portal. And let's say we have an ERP. It could be Oracle, it could be SAP, it could be an ERP, right? We are creating purchase order or shipping purchase order. Now, this is what process mining will tell you. And how do we get it? We have enabled our system in such a way that every activity which is being performed here captures the timestamp, which means if I create a sales order, it notes that, okay, Anurag Verma has created a sales order at, let's say, 10:15, right? Then somebody released the order. Let's say Rajan has released the sales order. So it will tell you, okay, Rajan has released the sales order at 10:25, right? And similarly, the other thing, it moves forward. That's what the process mining, and this is the real data. This is telling you that, okay, we started the process from SO creation, then SO release, creation. And if you have noticed, we had 2 other steps: receive vendor invoice, match in system, create SO. So we started our process from here, not from here or not from here, right? So this is what it's telling you. Your process started at SO creation, then SO release, And then we did PO creation, PO shipment, SO shipment, SO invoice. And if you want to have more, let's say, insight around it, it gives you more variation. Now, look carefully. We started with SO creation, and let me do it in this way. That would make more sense. Watch very carefully, guys. This is going to be interesting. So if you see, our processes were telling us that we started from step number 1 and we were supposed to perform, we were supposed to reach a step number 9. Now look at the real data. It is telling you that started with SO creation, step number 3. Then we moved to SO release, which is correct. We were supposed to follow this step number 4. However, out of 1445, only 1419 followed release SEO. Yeah, then we were supposed to create the PO. So only 1419 orders followed the PO creation part. You see this red line? And we had one variation where we skipped step number 5, 6, 7, and we moved directly from release SO to ship SO. You see this, right? You see this line. 1 7 seconds. After PO creation, we clicked on PO shipment, which is again correct. However, we did not release the PO. We moved from PO shipment to SO shipment, which means we jumped from step number 6 to step number 8, and then SO invoice. And it's also giving you the numbers. For example, from SO creation, for 18 orders, we skipped the entire process and we moved from SO creation to invoicing. See this? Create SO, send invoicing. Sorry. You see SO invoiced. From SO creation, 18 orders, skipped the entire queue, and we moved directly to SO invoiced. This is more around, whether the steps were followed or not. However, there is one more way of looking at this. Now you want to identify the overall turnaround time. If you see, the SO creation was done within few hours, 6 hours, 37 minutes, right? But from SO release to PO creation, it took 1 day, 4 hours, which means around 28 hours. From PO creation to PO shipment, again, few minutes, 40 minutes. No, makes sense. But from PO shipment to SO shipment, again, it is within the, let's say, yesterday, 1 hour. But from SO shipment to SO invoice, we took 17 hours. Now let's assume that you are the process owner, or you are a CEO of your company, or you are a VP of a company, where you see this graph and you suddenly identify, okay, this is my bottleneck. I'm spending 28 hours from SO release to PO creation, and I'm spending around 17 hours from SO shipment to SO invoice. It is what I wanted. If we are able to perform all the activity within few hours, like 6 hours, few minutes, 1 second, 1 second, 22 millisecond, 4 hours, then why I'm spending so much time here? What are the bottlenecks, right? How can we address that? So there are, as a business owner, as a CXO people, let's say you are executive director or business owner, there are 2 takeaways. 1, your process was not followed. From 1 to 9, it didn't go in that direction. Second, you have improvement opportunity within the process, which is focus area 1, focus area 2. Right. So this is what process mining will tell you that, okay, where are the current bottleneck and what are the current situations? And I just move it here. Cool. Yeah. So this is what process mining will tell you. Now moving to this next slide, what are the benefits? Like I said, no, it is objective database process insight. For example, if you don't have this diagram and you want to analyze the process performance, right? You will go and talk to process owner. He would say, everything is performing, right? Everything is within the SLA. you don't have any data to challenge or to identify that whether the situation is working as per your expectation or something has broken up. But once you have these kind of view, it is very easy to convince or to pass your message that something is not working, something is wrong, right? So it is a database process insight so that everybody can agree or disagree as a problem. And identification of hidden inefficiency or bottleneck, like I said, we are spending 28 hours here and 17 hours here, which means this could be the improvement opportunity. Of course, we're bringing compliance and control validations, that is supporting the BPM, EPM, RP, and AI initiative. Because now you can bring the AI to analyze or to give you the reason, why we have spent, let's say, 28 hours for this activity, right? So these are the benefits of process mining. And now you must be wondering that if this is so good that every company should have it, why we're not having in our company. So actually, see, yes, this capability is needed, but it brings more value where we have large enterprise. For example, O2C or P2P, for example, companies like Amazon who are dealing with so much data, who have a lot of customers, or companies like which has strictly adherence to compliance. If you're going for a passport, right, you have to follow the process. Companies which has strictly adherence to compliance or data-rich industry, where have so much data to process. For example, finance and banking, telecommunication, supply chain, or healthcare. Patients are coming and they have a strict, defined, let's say, ICU process for emergency cases. So whether the process are being followed or not, or something has broken up. So these kind of industry, should have a process mining capabilities. Because it brings a lot of value add and it gives you the quick view of bottlenecks, which you can easily talk to the stakeholder with the data. So the next question which might be coming in your mind is that is process mining for all companies? So my answer is technically yes, but practically you have to figure it out. For example, there are startups or companies who are struggling to meet their business objective, and let's say a small company. Then you might want to answer a question that, do I want to spend my time, my money in process mining, or my first focus is that, I should run the company? Because improvement can only come when you have a running business, or let's say you are in the game. If you're out of the game or you are struggling with your own business idea, then probably the process mining would not help you in this initial stage. But of course, this capability is needed. Key takeaway, of course, BPM improves processes and EPM brings governance, and it talks about the value creation, not just the process management. Process mining brings the data-driven approach to process management. You can, showcase the diagram or graph to everybody and bring their alignment, make them aware that what are the things which is working in the processes and what are the things not working in the processes, like PO creation. And we need BPM, we need EPM, and together, or that's a process mining, and together they form a strong foundation for digital enterprise. Now we have the processes, tools, technology, and you want to bring automation, you want to leverage AI, or you want to bring some other improvement, then you have a landscape to share and to bring the improvement. So this is what I have for today. I'm happy to take questions, or if you have any curiosity, I'm very happy to. And Latika ma'am, I hope I'm on time. We still have
Yes, sir. You're on time. We will be winding up by 11 o'clock. So you can see the hands raised. You can ask them with their names and you can answer the questions.
Sure. So we can go one by one. Whoever have raised hand first. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
There was some Zoom user. Scholars will be winding up by 11 o'clock. Please ask your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can I go, Doctor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this beautiful presentation. This is high-level work, and wow, kudos, congratulations. I believe one day we will reach that level. This is
All the best. Of course,
strategic
you will.
thinking, yeah, with hard work. I trust that. Congratulations for that. But I
Thank
only
you.
have a quick question that I'd like to know. When you design this business process management, I see there are 5 steps that
Mhm.
you talked about here. It is the you design, it is the design. The second one is the model, and then you
Monitor.
execute,
Yeah.
then you monitor, and then at the end, you optimize it. So,
Right.
what will be the difference between the design and the model? That's where
So,
I got a little
sure.
lost. So,
So
why
design is,
don't you just erase one step there?
actually, you cannot, and honestly, you should not, because design in a way, you identify a situation that I want to understand my order to cash cycle. Let's say I want to understand my vendor payment cycle, right? So that is part of a design. As soon as you identify a situation and you capture the current ways of working, it becomes your design or adds this situation, right? So your design phase is completed because you have your current situation documented. When you move to module, model will tell you that what should be your to be state. I mean, are you happy with it? If you are happy, then you can skip the model stage and move to the next stage.
Okay.
But you might notice that, okay, something is not working or something is not working as from expectation. So you bring some changes. So bringing changes is like, designing a to be process is part of model.
Thank you very much. Now I get
Welcome.
I get the picture. I get the point there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Sunil 1981. Sorry, I'm just reading what is mentioned on your Zoom ID.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Anurag.
Yep.
Hi, Anurag. Thank you very much for the
Hello.
opportunity to ask me the question. Well, it was a great insights which you have provided in from KPIs to the designing part and all. I really appreciate your effort. And I just wanted to have two couple of questions. Wherein the first question would be, I mean, do we need to primarily focus on process mining first and redefine the process, or as there is an existing process in an organization, so first we need to analyze EPM and BPM and then come to process mining? Please enlighten me on this. I'd be really
Sure. The ideal way is first introducing the BPM so that at least you know that what you are going through, and then putting the data through process mining. It is like if you have the process mining directory, you will not know that what is your ideal process, but you have your process design through BPM or through EPM. Okay, this is what you have to compare. So you bring the data through process mining, create the visualization, compare with your original process, like we did in our presentation. We had from step number 1 to step number 9. We noticed that what steps were not being performed. So if you don't have your landscape or something to compare, then process mining will not give you the right insight or not give you the problematic area. So it is going like hand by hand. First you create the BPM or EPM, and then you bring the process mining capabilities.
Okay. To ensure that the goal is achieved, I mean, EPM and BPM goals are achieved through process mining. This is what you understand, right?
Yes, we can say
That
that.
is my understanding.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for the enlightenment, Anurag. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Really great session. Thank you very much. Really great to have you here.
Thank you. And there was one lady who wanted to ask some questions during the starting of session.
So we have 9 minutes and there are a few more hands. If you can please cover them up and we can wind up in time.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mr. Anurag. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. It's really broadened my understanding of the automation and the BPM process. So I just want to quickly ask a question, which is between the 4th and the 5th process level, which is monitor and optimization. So within the BPM process, at what stage do you introduce the SLA and the escalation level? Is it at the initial level of design or after actionable, actualizing this framework that you begin to now introduce the SLA and the escalation level to optimize the process.
So if I understand your question correctly, I'm just rephrasing it for my understanding. At what stage we should have the SLA?
The service level agreement, because while you were going through your presentation, we noticed the variation in the response time from each level to the other.
So when you design your process, you have some high level SLA in your mind, right? It is always in back of your mind. It might not be documented, but you design your 2B process. You bring all the elements which were needed to be successful, which means you have some SLA in your back of mind, and you introduce those SLA in the process, which is model. And third stage is execute. So when you execute, you train your people in such a way that they understand their SLA. They have all the playbook, they have all the help that are needed to meet those SLA. It could be system access, it could be some onboarding training, it could be creating let's say playbooks, SOP, right? So the SOP creation, I mean, you have this in your back of mind during the design and model stage. However, you actually implement it during execute. Do I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Next question, please. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that's me. Thank you very much. It gives me really a big insight on BPM and EPM. Actually, from my experience, is more on the business process, specifically to departments when I've been working. So, and sometimes between departments, where I learn here, it is about EPM. It gives me more insight. Linking.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you. I don't know if this is only for me or for everybody.
So I think there's some bad network. If you can please take the next 3 people. I think it's Francisco, then Tesfa sir and Bright sir. That's it. And let's wind up the session for today then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question, please.
Yeah, please. I want to download the document and it's telling me invalid PDF document. I don't know.
Sorry, this question for me on EPM or VPM? Or you have some general question?
I'm saying that. Please, Francis. Hello?
Francisco, sir, we did not get your question.
I'm saying I want to download the document and it's telling me invalid.
It would be sent on the LMS and you can do it. Okay?
Yeah, Latika ma'am will be sharing all the details with you.
Don't worry.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So last question is Tesfe sir. Yes, sir. And then I'll extend the vote of thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I really appreciate all of you. And I have one question, or I need a personal suggestion from your experience. So, could you get a recommendation that is the best framework for each of them for the series of we have seen?
So you're asking for best framework for which situation, if I may ask?
Sir, if you can please clarify what sir is asking so he can answer on it. Anurag sir, whatever you could conclude then.
Okay, so I take it in this way that you are looking for an opportunity to bring BPM or EPM or process mining, and what stage we should introduce these to our company. Right. If the focus is from department point of view, for example, you are a department owner, you manage the sourcing, right? So the ideal way to start is you start the BPM practices within your domain, which is business process management, right? Because you are the owner and you can bring all the necessary changes within the department. And then you can try to influence your management or the department that, this BPM framework is important and we should have it, right? So if you are supporting a department or owning a department, then BPM practices are the starter. However, if you are at a senior position, let's say CXO people or director, or you are supporting the multiple department, then EPM practices would make more sense because you can influence the wider audience. You can influence the salespeople, you can influence the operations, finance, HR, legal, or different departments to reach at the maturity of the process, or the decision making will be easy for you. Right. So if you are positioned in such a way that you can influence multiple people, then bringing enterprise process management would make more sense, but it also needs some cost. It needs to have a proper governance. It needs to have dedicated roles. It needs to have proper handshaking. Right. So if you're in this stage, then BPM is the best way. Process mining comes later because you need to have something for benchmark through BPM or through EPM. And then you bring the data through process mining and showcase it to everybody that, guys, here we are. Do we need to make some changes, or we are going as per expectation? So generally, this is a life cycle, and this is the best introduction for these kind of setups. Do I make sense, or do you want to clarify anything more?
I think, sir, that was good enough. I don't know where the scholar is now. So thank you, Anurag, sir, for taking the time to be with us today. Your insight and your experience shared during the session were truly valuable and inspiring, and we deeply appreciate your guidance and thoughtful perspectives on business and transformation. And the session has left us with meaningful takeaway and a very renewed motivation. We are grateful for your time, sir, and looking forward to learn from you again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed the session, and all the best to all the students. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A nice session. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank
That was a
you.
great.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
And good night.
Thank you. Very, very inspiring discussion.
Thank you, scholars. See you tomorrow for a case study. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay blessed.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice
Thank you,
to meet
doctor. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you, doctor.
Bye.
Bye.